Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our video podcasts, our vodcast, as we like to call it.
Episode 3.
Well, I wouldn't jump into that because I've not decided what order I'm going to release these yet.
Oh, no! I've already messed up, ladies and gentlemen. I've already messed up.
So we have our first one's already been released. That one is out. But
Yep.
we're recording about 3 today. And to be honest, they can come out in any order. We have not
I also
set.
like how we are recording them on the hottest day so far this year. And we are sweating.
I'm actually feeling all right. So I think it's just you.
I'm a sweaty guy.
But what was I going to say? I think I'm actually going to release this one second, just so that you sound silly in the in the intro.
My colleague is stitching me up yet again.
Right. Have I told you what we're going to be talking about yet today?
Yes. Today, I believe we're doing the upcoming films of 2020.
It's a bit of that. It's movies that have resumed production. So they were filming. They had to pause for global issues, shall we say.
Yep.
They had to pause production. They are getting back going now. So they've had a break for 2-3 months, but now they're getting back underway.
Some of these may or may not be out by the end of the year. I guess some of them will get pushed back to next year.
I think some of them, the plan was to keep them for another 2 years. Anyway, some of them are big projects, which are going to take a while.
Well, the big one I know that got pushed back was James Bond, but that had already been finished. They just pushed back the release date.
So that's finished. So that's not a case of resuming production. That's ready. They're just pushing back
when
they
be in this video.
Send it out. No. So this is the ones where they're going to go back to actual filming with the camera.
Yeah.
They'll be like, lights, camera, action, go, blockbuster.
Yep. Well, hopefully, in their eyes.
But you know what it is? It's things that we can get excited about as well, some of these. Yeah. There's a couple of them I'm looking forward to. Right, and there's no movie that you will look forward to more than Avatar 2. Oh,
God. Oh, no. What more is there to say about this world?
So it's Pandora's the planet, isn't it?
Yeah. And they were chasing unobtainium or some such?
Unobtainium was the stupidest name for it. Unobtainium was such a daft name.
It was a lazy name is what it was.
Yeah, it was too heavy-handed, in your face, this is the message of this movie. Like, calm down a bit.
But the thing is, I don't feel like this will gain the same traction as the first one, just because we're kind of over the whole 3D thing. And
there will be a large audience for it, though.
I suspect so, but I don't think it'll be on the same scale. It'll be large, just not on the same as the original.
I think they've planned 5 movies.
Really?
So I think the plan is for there to be 5 avatars.
That's a waste of 5 movies, that is.
Well, you know what? I didn't mind the first one. Like, I wouldn't say it changed my life or anything, but I have
strong feelings on the first one. I have shared these feelings on previous recordings, so I won't go into it now. But
so this has started refilming by now. They're filming it in New Zealand right now, and New Zealand is the place to be at the moment.
Yes, for many reasons.
It is James Cameron.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually quite like James Cameron as a bloke, just not a fan of this Avatar series that he's so into.
Yes, I think they're going to call this one The Way of the Water is the proposed title for Avatar 2.
That's a really, really bad title.
You're so set against it.
They're not helping themselves, though. I feel like that title is not helping them get me on side.
Yeah, so they're keeping the original, so Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, they're staying.
Right.
But they're bringing in Kate Winslet and Vin Diesel.
Those are 2 very unlikely actors to be in this. I'm surprised by those choices.
Well, I can see Vin Diesel being the villain.
Oh, yeah, from that perspective, yes. I can see what you mean. But still, I just think it's a bit of a slightly... I mean, he'll be all blue, won't he?
Possibly or possibly not. He might be another human invader. I don't know. Like, we really don't know.
Right, okay. Yeah,
apparently, it's going to be about... they have kids. So the 2 from the first one, they now have kids who are now the leaders of their clan.
So one of them, of course, is a human in an avatar body, right?
But I think by the end of Avatar, he was fully transferred into the avatar.
It was fully transferred, right. So he can technically reproduce then.
That is just his life at this point, I think.
That was going to be my question. Is he still then in laying somewhere in a human
I don't think so. I think that got destroyed, didn't it?
Right. I can't quite remember the whole palaver.
So I think he fully transferred. So they reckon.
Right. So he's now basically just Avatar.
Yeah, he is the blue thing now, and that's
it. Yeah, he is the blue thing. Okay.
Which actually completely changes it. Although this is meant to be able to be watched as a standalone, like without having seen the first.
Right. So you don't necessarily need to know what happened in the first one to enjoy this one.
I think they'll do like a quick recap of any details that are important, but it is their own movie in their own right.
Right. Okay. So it's not like 100%. It's a sequel, but it's a. You don't need to necessarily know the storyline.
I don't think so. No. So this is slated to come out on December 2021.
Wow, that's quite a way away.
And then they'll rush through, and the fifth one should be out for 2027.
Crumbs.
So I think they're really going to just go churn them through at this point.
Well, right, they're going to rush through them. I suspect it'll be one of those franchises by the end of it, people will be hating it. I don't think they're going to be able to keep it up.
I think it depends how this one does. If this one ends up doing well and people like it, because some people do like these.
Yes, no, I appreciate people have different perspectives.
But if people like it, I think it'll be fine. But if people don't like this one, the rest will be marred, if not cancelled.
Well, who knows?
Because I don't imagine that these are cheap to make.
No, I don't imagine they are. And of course, they're going to put a lot of money into the advertisement of it too.
But I think it's safe to say that you're not exactly on bated breath for this.
No, I won't be paying to go see this. That's for sure.
Would you rather then that we moved on to a movie which you will be very excited to see?
Oh, you've piqued my interest.
And when I say very excited to see, I think this is one which you'll be like, I wish it was coming out tomorrow. Right. So we have got coming up Jurassic World Dominion.
Finally, something to get behind. As I've said, I'm a fan of Jurassic Park / World franchise. I felt like the last one, the one just before this, was a bit. I think I mentioned this before in another video where I thought some of the scenes were just lifted straight out of previous films. It was a bit lazy filmmaking, I feel.
You know what? I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the bit. I enjoyed the island getting destroyed.
Oh yeah,
when lava overtook the island, that was excellent.
Yeah,
and
that was excellent.
I actually really enjoyed the bit where they were bidding for different dinosaurs.
I agree. I thought that was quite an interesting little take. I quite like how they did that.
But there were scenes which had been designed for the trailers, like when the girl climbs into the bed and hides in the bed, so they could have that bit where the claw sort of reaches out towards her while she's under the sheets.
Yeah, like I said, some parts of it were a little cheesy, shall we say. But overall, I think they've done a good job of continuing the franchise without completely messing it up.
Excellent opening where they're in the tanker and the giant dinosaur that's still alive in the tanker comes up behind them and takes them.
Oh, yeah. What, you mean in the underwater when they're diving?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that was a good opening to the movie.
That was a little bit Star Warsy, though. Remember in episode 1?
What, the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, when
there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, it kind of, it was a bit like that. I mean, I still enjoyed it for what it was.
What I did find strange was Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, their roles pretty much completely reversed. So in the first one, he was all about the dinosaurs and looking after them and making sure they survived, and she was like park businesswoman. Yeah. Whereas in the second one, she was all save the dinosaurs and he was like, let them burn.
I don't think it was. Well, I could see his point of view. He wasn't, but he still cares for them. So it wasn't complete reversal for him. It was a bit more pragmatic, where she had made it
feel like they'd switched.
180. A little bit. I'm a fan of Bryce Dallas Howard, partly because her name's quite cool. She's got a cool name. It's a cool name.
We're meant to be talking about movies.
Also, slight tangent, but going on the Bryce Dallas Howard figure, she did quite well in what's that series? That I forget now. The one where they do like futuristic sort of
TV show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh Lord, you know when they do like dystopian futures.
Black Mirror.
That's the one, Black Mirror.
Surely she would only be in like one.
Yeah, she was, but it was quite a good one.
Oh, okay.
She did well in that. No, just my thought. She's a good actress as well.
All right, fair enough. But so this is going to be back to this specific one, the Jurassic World Dominion.
Yep.
This is going to be the first big production that's going to resume in the UK. So it's not quite resumed yet, but it's on the verge of resuming.
Right. Is the whole production taking place in the UK?
I've got the feeling it is, yes.
That's quite impressive for the UK, I have to say.
Yes, and I think they've put in place a $5 million safety plan. So that's Universal have put in a $5 million safety plan for when they resume filming. And it's going to be on-site doctors, 150 hand sanitizer stations, all that sort of stuff. They're filming it in Pinewood Studios.
Right, okay. So they're really going all out to protect everyone.
Yeah. So Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard should either be already in London or back in London right now. And then they have to self-isolate for 2 weeks, and then they start filming.
Right, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what to expect, though. I feel like...
Well, what I can tell you...
Take it. Go on.
What I can tell you is that it will be Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but there will also be Jeff Goldblum.
I'm a big fan of Jeff Goldblum.
Sam Neill and Laura Dern from the original.
Oh, so this could be a whopper. If you've got all three from the original. Okay.
So they do have the originals.
I just do hope they do it well without making it too cheesy.
Yeah, so that should be out June 2021.
Okay, so about a year from now.
Yeah, we are looking at a year's time, yes.
Okay.
Which I think is all right.
That's my summer 2021 sorted out.
Yeah, I knew that would be the one that you'd be looking forward to. So out of all of these, I was like, that's the one. That is it. Now, the next one, there's not really too much known about it. Right. It is difficult. Yep. It's a Tom Hanks movie that's been filmed, and it's about Elvis.
Ugh.
So it's a biopic of Elvis Presley.
Right.
Starring Tom Hanks, which is weird because I don't really see Tom Hanks as Elvis. And Tom Hanks is already older than Elvis ever really made it to.
Yeah, I feel like what part of his life is he going to sort of depict? The whole of it? Part of it?
I'm really not sure. They'll have to like de-age him or something with that tech that they have. But it does seem like a bizarre choice.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm not a massive Elvis fan. Like, he was a singer. I'm sure he was big in the day, but for me, I couldn't care less, really, if I'm honest. I like Tom Hanks. He's done some nice films.
He is not actually going to be playing Elvis in it. Oh. He's going to be playing Colonel Tom Parker, who I think was his manager. Yes, his manager.
Right. So he's not actually going to be he's not actually going to be Elvis in it.
No, there's a guy who I don't know called Austin Butler will play Elvis.
Right. Okay.
So Tom Hanks is playing the manager.
Right. Okay. Well, I was misled massively on this.
Yes. Well, in fairness, I didn't know too much. I've had to look up my little fact sheet here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, it might be a decent film, but I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to go watch it. If I watch it, it would be on TV.
No. The filming for this had to stop because Tom Hanks got ill himself.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. So it's being filmed in Queensland, in Australia. Yeah.
Okay,
so they're filming on the Gold Coast.
Oh, what a place to be.
Yeah, so I think that's getting started again as soon as possible. It's difficult to talk about this one in particular because not too much is known.
No, but essentially the storyline would be Elvis's life. So
yeah, it's going to be a sort of like Bohemian Rhapsody-esque thing, focusing on the relationship between Elvis and his manager.
Right, okay.
Because let's face it, if they've got Tom Hanks in, they're going to focus on him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm assuming this, for me personally, won't be something that I'm going to look forward to, but I'm sure there is going to be a base for it. Obviously, Elvis fans are people who like...
That'll be it. It'll be Tom Hanks, musical biopic fans, and Elvis fans. And there's still tons of Elvis fans left.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that'll be November 2021, I reckon that'll come out.
I will not be writing that down in my diary.
But the filming has resumed. It is back.
Okay. Right. It's on the list.
The next one is going to be another installment of a big movie franchise.
Right.
Also filming in the UK is
Great.
Mission Impossible 7.
Ooh, I am a fan of the Mission Impossible series. The original, of course, will always be the greatest, but I do enjoy it. My only small criticism is that I feel, what's his name? Tom Cruise, sorry.
Yes.
Tom Cruise in the last few years is basically playing the same character in every movie.
Well, he is the
Jack
same.
Reacher series and the
Jack
Mission Impossible
Reacher, I
series.
thought was excellent.
It was no. I'm not saying it wasn't. I enjoyed the film. I just feel he, as an actor, is just basically playing the same guy again and again in slightly varying situations. It's kind of, you can't really discern his characters from movie to movie.
No, but when you go back to the 80s and 90s, you look at films like Rain Man and all of them, or Tropic Thunder, that was very different.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Back then, he played different characters, and you could tell it was a different movie. It was different. But now he's just playing the same action figure.
He is very typecast at this point.
Yeah, Night and Day as well. Another that was a bit more comedy related, but still basically the same.
Oh, Night and Day was horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the greatest action movie, but that's what I'm saying. He's basically playing the same guy again and again. But I'll watch this.
Yeah, well, I say that. I haven't watched it since 4. So I haven't seen 5 or 6 yet.
Right, okay.
And I really enjoyed 1 through 4. I just never saw 5 or 6.
5 and 6 are also equally good, to be honest. Simon Pegg is doing a great job as his character's definitely developed. I like that. Yeah.
I like Simon Pegg.
Yeah, I think he's done well. He's kind of come out of comedy and he's still doing the sort of funny guy, but in a more serious tone.
He finds the balance, which is an important thing.
Yes, I agree. Balance. Good word.
Now, this has gone through a lot of difficulties with its filming. So it was filming in Italy, and obviously that had to stop back in February because that came to all sorts of trouble. So they moved the entire filming over to the UK, and then that had to be completely halted as well. So they reckon that they'll restart, not quite yet, but about September, this will be back underway.
Right.
And so they still want
to the end of next year.
The release date at the moment is about November 2021.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But they want to film in a number of different countries, which is what's really holding it up.
Yeah, I would imagine it would. They do tend to, in the movies, go to lots of different locations to do certain scenes and stuff. So
exactly. So they still want to go to Italy. They still want to film in the UK. They still want to film in other countries, which they've not announced because they don't want to give away details.
Right. Okay. Well, good luck to them. I mean, I will definitely go and see this. And hopefully it'll be just as good as the previous 6.
Yeah, I've got high hopes for it. It should be okay.
It's the sort of genre that I enjoy. If you do it well, it always goes down well.
I don't know how he manages to look so young, though.
Well, he does a lot of his own stunts. In the last film, he broke his ankle in that scene where he jumped.
I saw that video. Oh,
yeah, and actually
horrible.
But the thing is, they left that whole scene in because it made it look much more real.
Of course.
Yeah, so he does do a lot of his stunts. He's very active, so that that does help.
Mission Impossible 7 will probably be centered around his finding of the Fountain of Youth.
Possibly.
Because he really is on top of his game. But as we said the other day, like, money means you stay looking younger for longer.
Yes, that is true. And maybe he's... is he still part of the Scientology group, by the way? Is he
yes.
Still there? He is. Well, as long as he's enjoying himself, who am I to...
I was going to say, please tread carefully. Please.
Well, to each their own.
Pretty please.
But it's just like there was a point where people were talking about it a lot, and I think it's just gone away. It's just gone left him to it.
Yeah.
Which, rightly so, to be honest. He's a grown man. He can do what he likes.
Exactly. So I think a film a lot of people will be looking forward to. Lots of action. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Now, this is an interesting one, which will be The Little Mermaid.
Wow.
So this is the live action Little Mermaid.
I don't know what to say about this.
The lady on the left is
going to be playing
Halle Bailey. Ariel. She'll be playing Ariel.
Yes, that's the Ariel. Yep, that's the character I was looking for.
So that's Halle Bailey who'll be playing Ariel, and then Melissa McCarthy will be playing Ursula the Sea Witch.
Right. Okay. Yep. The one with the eels.
Yes, it is your standard fare Disney remake, live action remake.
Well, I know this will do well because it's Disney, and it's a classic Disney story.
Exactly. So they're filming it in London again.
Again? High five.
Yes. So actually, it was due to start filming, and production had to stop a week before the filming started.
They haven't even started it then. This is way behind then.
Yeah, so they had to cancel the plans a week before. It's still the release date. They've literally given a day, which is November the 19th, 2021, is the date they still want to bring it out.
It's got a year to do it. It's doable, I guess.
I think so, because some movies you can do all the filming in about 6 weeks if you're really on board. It's not that long. Realistically, this will take 10 to 12 weeks to film, but that gives plenty of time for post-production and edits and all the special effects that'll go in, because this will be highly special effects.
Right.
Because they're going to have to literally have dialogue and conversation underwater.
Well, it might be interesting to see how they manage it. From a special effects point of view, I'd enjoy it.
I've got a horrible feeling that Sebastian the Crab is going to look unbelievably creepy.
Possibly.
Because can you imagine just a giant crab just floating around and just a mouth that's moving?
I hope they do, because I hope they do him as well as they did the shrimp in Nemo. He was quite a funny character, and I hope they do the same with
shrimp in Nemo.
Yeah, in the fish tank. I can't remember his name. It was a French. They depicted him as like a French shrimp.
Oh, accent. I know the one you mean.
Yeah, I hope he's going to be that sort of character, because I quite enjoyed that.
It depends how realistic they want to make it look. Because that's the thing, because The Lion King, they literally made the animals look exactly like the animals in real life.
The difference here is that there's no such thing as a real mermaid, so you just have to make it as...
No, but I mean, I'm talking about the fish and the crabs and that.
Okay. Well, I reckon they'll do a good job on it. I mean...
I hope so.
It'll probably be on the same level as Aquaman, the fish in that.
Yeah, but the fish didn't speak in Aquaman, did they?
No, they didn't, to be fair.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's the moving mouth. To be honest, I'm probably not even going to see it as soon as it comes out, but I'm quite concerned about how the animals will look.
Well, we'll catch it afterwards when it gets released.
I know. Well, now that we're Disney Plus aficionados.
Oh, yes, of course. We'll be all over that.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of Disney movies we're going to end up going through on our movie commentaries now is going to be incredible.
This summer is going to be wild.
We're going to spend it indoors. Get in.
Yes.
So that is the Disney remake coming through. There's only actually one other one I've got on my list here of resuming production.
Yep.
I feel like it's anticipated, but also people aren't that fussed in a way.
Go on.
It is the Batman movie.
You know what? You summed it up right. I'm not fussed at all. I don't know why.
They've gone through so many Batmans.
Yeah, they've done it a lot, and also the Chris. Who was the previous three? With
Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan did the Christian Bale trilogy.
Right, and I think they did such a good job on those three that
exactly. And Ben Affleck.
It's difficult to.
Yeah, Ben Affleck came in and he became the DC Universe Batman.
Yeah.
And he's dropped out, and now suddenly we've got Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah, I just don't feel that goes. I don't think that's a good fit.
It doesn't really...
It's like the George Clooney Batman. That wasn't a good fit either.
No. Well, there was more issues than just George Clooney with that.
I just don't think it suits the person who's doing it.
So this one will be interesting. Now, this is the one out of all of these which has probably benefited from having to stop filming for a while.
Well, because it gave them a chance to do it properly.
It gave Robert Pattinson a chance to work out properly.
Right. Okay.
So he spent the past sort of 3-4 months really going for it in the gym and getting that body ready that you basically need to do any superhero movie nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially Batman. They seem to be going for the lines of a buff Batman at this point to make him seem
Well, I'm
more
assuming
impressive.
they're modelling Batman on my physique.
Well, no, because they want him to have muscle.
I set myself up for that one.
You did a bit. So they're filming this in Glasgow.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, Glasgow's quite a good spot for the filming. They filmed things
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of
World War Z
Gothic
was in
architecture.
Glasgow. They did
Yeah.
the Avengers up in Glasgow.
Yeah, there's the architecture does lend itself to this sort of thing. But what I was going to say earlier is that I find that in Batman movies, the villains are always more interesting than Batman himself. I think Batman is one of the blandest superheroes.
Well, they do have excellent villains.
Yeah.
Batman can be interesting if done right.
Yeah,
But we don't need to see his parents die again. We don't need that.
No.
Really, I'd like it if this tied in to the Joker movie that came out back in October.
Right.
If they could tie that in, that would be excellent.
But I think, who was the Joker in Christopher Nolan? I forget his name now.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger in my opinion, Heath Ledger's Joker was probably the greatest Joker we'll ever see.
Possibly. I really, really enjoyed the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I thought it was a really excellent take.
I thought it was super annoying.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't connect with him at all. I just wanted to squash him like a bug.
I thought it was outstanding. Especially that scene where he's on the chat show. I thought that was one of the best scenes I've seen.
That was one of the parts where I really did not like him at all. I just couldn't get on board with him.
But speaking of villains, I'm not sure about a villain for this movie. The only real thing that's confirmed is that Zoe Kravitz is going to be playing Catwoman.
Right.
Now, I don't know if Catwoman will be a sort of love interest for him, or if she will be a villain, or maybe she'll be both.
I hope they don't do the love interest thing, just because it's boring.
It is a bit, but it always gets thrown into these blockbusters.
Yeah, I just think it's just a wasted 20 minutes or whatever, however minutes they throw it in there. It's just like, I don't need this. It doesn't add anything to the story or the character.
So I think this will be an interesting one, because this will either be a really excellent take that does really well, or it will just be bland and forgotten about in 5 minutes.
Well, is that picture taken from this movie or not?
It was taken from the filming that they did.
Okay. From that, it doesn't look exciting at all.
That looks like it might be a stuntman. So the people aren't sure if that's Robert Pattinson or a stuntman at this point. And it's basically a scene where they're filming Batman on a motorbike in a cemetery.
Right, okay. Classic place to be.
Batman. All we really know. Should come out October 2021.
I'm more excited about The Mermaid than I am about this.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I think we'll just have to wait and see how it does. I think I'm going to wait and see the reception to it before I make any real concrete decisions on whether I want to.
That's a good way of going. Although I do find sometimes the initial reviews of films aren't reflective of what the public feel.
No, that's why you have to sort of give it 2-3 weeks. That's when the word of mouth comes out. And once you got word of mouth, that's when you really get a proper foothold of where we stand.
I agree. That's the way I'm going to go with this film.
So yes, that's a little sneak peek to the movies that will be coming out.
Is that it?
In about a year. Those are the 6 I found.
Okay, cool.
But I think we've got some interesting ones in there, some to definitely look forward to. I would ask you which one you're looking forward to the most, but I'll already tell you it's Jurassic World Dominion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you've done yeah, you're right. For me, Jurassic Park, The Mermaid, I think I'll watch it at some point. Batman, I'm lukewarm. I'll watch it, but I'm not expecting huge things from it.
I'll be interested to see what happens. I will see Avatar. I'm probably going to see Avatar in the cinema.
Okay, you can tell me how you liked it. And then
I'll do is I'll tell you it's excellent just to get you to go.
I won't believe you anyway.
No, you won't. You never believe me.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes.
But yes, those are our movies. I think positive on the whole, quite positive.
Yeah, I mean, for the ones that are restarting, definitely.
I'm looking forward to the return of our blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Right. Happy days. I think that leaves us there for now.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Thank you to everyone for joining us as we sort of like stumble our way through this, looking at all these different movies.
It was a mixed bag this time in terms of what we saw. Yes,
definitely. Please remember to like, subscribe, let us know what topics you'd like us to discuss. Basically, any videos you'd like to see from us.
I always like requests.
And especially with this format of videos, we'll be able to get onto requests quite quickly.
Yes, that is true.
So the
we
movie
can
commentaries,
fulfill your dreams faster.
Yes, the movie commentaries we line up, but it takes a while before we can really get round to that.
It's more time consuming, definitely.
It's difficult to pencil into the diary, but these ones we can really get out quite quickly. So anything you'd like us to discuss, anything you'd like us to,
we're happy to
dip our toes into.
Like I said, fulfill your dreams. So definitely.
Right, brilliant. There. Thank you for joining us.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Until next time. Oh, right. See ya.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.